Yo, peace was good. Welcome to the installment of Hip Hop Rants. This is part 12. I know it's been a minute since I did one, but there's some topics that I do want to talk about that's been kind of annoying me. Which I've been wanting to say it, but I know some of you guys been wanting me to wanted me to talk about it. So might as well just spit it out. The first topic I want to talk about is mumble rap. Um, you guys should know what I'm talking about. You got artists like Future, Designer, Young Thug, Lil Yachty, or how the fuck, Little Uzi Erk. What are these fucking names, dude? Like, it's like I just don't get that shit, man. Like, I understand, like, when you're at a club or you're at a party, there's a time and place for everything. That's the kind of music you want to play because that's at the time. It's like the heat of the moment type of thing. I was like like that kind of music. I like to I like to consider that mood music because it's like that's the kind of music that you play in a certain mood. Like if you're in a party mood, or you with a jump off. You know what I mean? Like you about to get it on with some chick. You know what I mean? That's the music you're gonna play with. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna play. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, I can't fuck with it, man. I got really tried, and then like, you know, people always like to say, "Oh, hip hop is evolving. Hip hop is evolving." It's not evolving. It's not. How is it evolving? Why? Because you got niggas, doing like Casio beats and these keyboard beats, which is nothing wrong if it's done right. But it's like a lot of shit that's out now, like it's very simplified. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like really, you know what I mean? And then what pisses me off is that people are categorizing that shit as hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, but and what I mean by that is like they categorizing that shit as a representation of all hip hop, which is not the case. And that's the shit that pisses me off. It's like, oh, oh, this is what they do. This is what hip hop has come to these days, and that's not the case because there's a shitload of music, and people always wonder why I don't review certain albums. Is because for one, it's my channel. Two, I the whole point of this channel is to put people on to music that I don't really hear too many people talk about, and to put people on. You guys have no idea how much people have told me like, "Yo, thank you for reviewing this album. I would have never known about this album if it wasn't for you," or thanks for putting me on to this artist. Whether it's from one of my, album reviews or one of my CD collection videos. That's why I do it for, and I do it because it's fun to do. And I just hate that word evolve because if anything, that's de-evolving. It's not evolving. Evolving, in my opinion, is when when you first start off, like, yeah, you have your certain style, but then you take that style what you came with, but you apply it to better, like whether it's like maybe the beat selection is different but the lyrics are still the same, or you talk about different topics and things like that, but you still keep that same formula that when you first came out with. That to me is evolving. You know what I mean? Not this when you try to transition and like, let's say like an artist like what's a good one? Prodigy is a perfect example. When he first came out, he had his own stilo. Like to me, in the '90s, Prodigy was like one of the illest MCs of all time, especially around that time in the '90s. Like he was like that Rottweiler, like he was like that loose Rottweiler. Like you had to hold back. You know what I mean? Like you had to hold the chain tightly. Like once you let him go, he'll let it go. Like he'll just let loose. Right now, I think he's too comfortable. You know what I mean? He's too tame. You know what I mean? It's to the point where, um, I remember in an interview when he first came out of jail. Like one of the interviews, he was saying like how when he was out back in the '90s, he had tunnel vision, and I understand where he was coming from. And he was saying when he said tunnel vision, he mean like he would only fuck with certain amount of people, like as far as doing collaborations with and shit like that. And not for nothing, but I kind of miss that Prodigy. I liked when he had tunnel vision, but I understand that you're trying to broaden your horizons, trying to get new fans and things like that. But sometimes that doesn't work for everybody, and Prodigy is a perfect example. Even from where he's the way he's rapping now, it's just like it doesn't entice me. Like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, it's Prodigy, but it just seems like he's like a whole different artist. He's not the same dude that you know that we all grew up listening in the '90s and the early 2000s. You know what I mean? It's just kind of sad, and I feel like artists like that, to me, kind of suffer from the Benjamin Button syndrome, which I can't take credit for, because I heard that before. Kill from the Corner, aka Live from the Writers Bench. He's the one that I first heard using that term, the Benjamin syndrome. Where I don't know if you guys seen the movie Benjamin syndrome, Benjamin Button with Brad Pitt. Very dope movie, by the way. Where Benjamin Button, when he was young, he looked old. It's kind of like he had like an old soul, but the older he got, the younger he was. Like his mentality was younger, and I feel like there's a lot. And like so, when he was a young kid, he was old. He looked old physically, but as he got older, he looked younger, younger. So, and I feel like that's the mindset of people today, especially with hip hop today. Jay-Z's a prime example. When Jay-Z first came out, he had the whole Reasonable Doubt thing, the drug raps and all that shit, which we all love and miss. But then, in the second album, in My Lifetime Volume 1, which I have to do a review on those albums eventually, he tried to follow the Biggie syndrome, the Biggie formula, where you had like the flashy songs, but you had the street songs, and he went more commercial, but it didn't really work for him. You know what I mean? And then over the years, he just started getting more and more commercial, even to the point like that where now, he's on people's other songs. Like he'll be on a remix, and then he's just like trying to gravitate to what it's like. He's rapping fast, but he's trying to like rap like the niggas out today, and that's the shit I don't like. Busta Rhymes is a perfect example too. Somebody that's suffering from the Benjamin Button syndrome when he first came out. Particularly with the Coming album, he had a whole, like his whole concept, like his first four albums had a dope concept where the world's about to end. You know what I mean? Like it came out in 1996, and everybody was worried about the year 2000. We're coming to a whole new century, a whole new millennium. Oh shit, like everybody was worried about the world's about to come to end, and like in a hip hop form, I thought that was dope in the original. With Busta Rhymes now, it seemed like right after the Genesis album, he just started he went south. Like he just started doing all this commercial shit. Even though like in his first couple of albums, he had the commercial shit, but he still had shit for the hip hop heads and stuff like that. But that's just which to me it gets the state of hip hop the way it is now is just not really good, and then like people gravitating towards that mumble rap is not good, and people especially like the veterans kind of like embracing that and just saying like, oh, this is hip hop is evolving. I mean, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Like I'm just not with that shit. I fucking hate it, man. So hip hop's not a good place. It's not a good place. Alright. Next topic I'm gonna talk about is local musician / internet rappers, musicians I should say. I'm pretty sure some of you guys get into this all the time, where you have people who are inspiring artists, including myself, or upcoming artists, including myself, or musicians I should say. They'll whether you be on Facebook or Instagram or even here on YouTube. They'll try to like spam you with their music and shit. It's like, damn, dude, like I don't even know you. Like, yeah, I added you on some music shit, but I'm pretty sure you added me because of my music or my reviews or on my YouTube channel. You don't even say, yo, what's up? I'm a big fan. Like, people don't have proper etiquette when it comes to this shit. Well, I'm to like introducing their music. A lot of people like to like spam this shit. Like, yo, here's my new song. I'm like, dude, like I don't even know you, dude. The fuck? Yeah, I added you, but I don't know. There should be like proper channels on how to do certain things. Like for example, I'm on Instagram, right? And everybody knows I use the Sonic EPS 16 Plus. So anytime I see somebody else using and Sonic sampler, I salute them because we're kind of like a dying we're kind of last of a dying breed. A lot of people don't really like the Sonic samplers, even though they kind of have a cult following. But everybody likes the SP 1200 or the MPC 3000, the 60 or whatever. But getting back to what I'm saying, like anytime I see somebody on Instagram with an Sonic sampler, whether it's the ASR, the EPS, or the EPS 16 plus, I check their music. I'm like, if I fucks with your music, I fucks with you, I like your shit. When you guys get when you get a chance, check my shit out. I also use that shit. I also use that machine too. That's how you do it. You don't just fucking like, check my shit out. You don't do that. That's not the right way. That's like me. That's like me going to work and you got your supervisor trying to like, you need to, this needs to be done. This needs to be done. My nigga, wait till I fucking clock in first. Then you tell me what's going on, like what I need to be done. Like I fucking hate that. That shit's mad annoying. And no offense, but a lot of times I get that a lot. Like people check my music out. I don't mind checking people's music out. 8 out of 10, a lot of shit is whack. I hate to say it, you know what I mean? And that's not to be mean, but it's just like maybe the style of music that you do is not really my shit. Is not really my stilo. And I feel like I do have an eclectic taste of music, but a lot of shit that's out there that some people send me is whack. You know what I mean? I'm just not really digging. But most of the time, like there are times I do get dope shit, but that's very rare. You know what I mean? But and the reason I bring this up is because you guys know that I make beats and things like that, and I try to like put my shit out, and things like that, and I know it might be kind of like petty of what I'm saying, but like it's like if you want me to check your music, at least check my shit too. You know what I mean? A lot of times the people that be on my friends list, that do music, they be like, check my song out. I'm like, I'm good with that, but at least check my shit out too. You know what I mean? And I know there's some people that like to they like to put they like to tag people into the shit. I'm not one of those people that do that. I don't knock people that do that, but I don't really do that. That's not really my style. If you check my shit, you check my shit. But and I know some people might think like my mixing is not really that good. I'm not the best mixer in the world. I'm just put that out there. Like I feel like some people are gifted to be some people they know how to mix. They're good at engineers and things like that. I don't have that gift. Like I'm not good at that. That's like a whole different talent to have. You know what I mean? I just stick to making beats and things like that. And I know like some people might think like some of my beats don't have like mix downs or like breakdowns and things like that. My thing is like I don't really do that. Like I'm not gonna lie. When I first started making beats, I didn't really do breakdowns like that. You know what I mean? Because when you listen to most '90s hip hop, a lot of '90s hip hop don't really have breakdowns. You know what I mean? And they really don't. And I just come from that formula. I just follow that formula. You know what I mean? But it is what it is with that though. But I just my whole thing is like just have a better way of approaching people when it comes to, like introducing people to your music. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. Next topic I want to talk about is out of print albums and price gouging. You guys know I collect CDs and shit like that. I'm a big CD collector. I have like over 1,000 CDs. I think I have like close to like 1,200 CDs. I lost count, but I do have a lot of CDs, man. But I noticed a thing where a lot of albums that I've been trying to get are going out of print, and they're going out of print fast. But not only that, but the prices for those albums are skyrocketing like crazy, and it just pisses me off because it's like you got a certain art. There's so many albums that I want to get, but I know that I'm not gonna be able to get just due to the price of those albums. And it just kind of sucks because you you'll never get to hear those albums, because even though yeah you do have YouTube, but I'm the type of person like I like to get the physical, and like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do download, but when I do download, I eventually do go and try to get the album. You know what I mean? Unless it's like a free mixtape or some shit like that, but I do download, but I try to like support the artist by buying the albums and just, at least having a physical. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, like when you see the CD collection videos that I do, a lot of times I do have those albums, you know, on CD. Like I have the digital file and then I'll put it like on a CDR and shit like that. But I'm slowly trying to get rid of those. I'm just trying to have like the original physicals. But again, it's kind of hard because they're going out of print, and then a lot of times they're not re-releasing those albums. Even though, as of late, they have started re-releasing some of those albums that I've been trying to get, which is cool. But my problem with some of the reissues is that they'll re-release them, but a lot of times that they'll take away certain songs. You know what I mean? Like for example, I'll give you a prime example. Like I mentioned before, what's a good the True album, the True to the Game album is a double disc album. Um, in the original pressing, there was a song called Smoking Green. I want to give a shout out to my nigga Mike Sis that put me on to this info where he was saying that the reason why that in the reissue that it didn't have a song called Smoking Green was because of a sample clearance issue. You know what I mean? It's because of a Seals and Croft sample that they used, and so that's why they weren't able to clear it. So that's why that's when they didn't appear in the '98 version. Because I think the original present came out in 19. I think the album came out in 1997, but the second present came out in '98. So when you got the 98 version, which I have, it doesn't have that song. So which kind of sucks. But that's the kind of thing that kind of annoys me. And like Master P, prime example, he has all this money. I wish that he would re-release all the whole No Limit catalog for the fans to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this shit goes for a lot of money. I got lucky with some of those albums that I caught, like on the True album by True, that has the About It. I bought that back in '01, but I got lucky with that. But then now, like, the album goes for stupid amount of money, and I know some of my peers been trying to get that album, but it goes for stupid money, and it's fucking ridiculous. And a lot of times, a lot of these sellers that sell it for stupid amount of money, and it just kind of pisses me off, man. And I just wish that these artists would re-release these albums, even some of the unreleased albums, like the albums that got shelved. Put those out. Like, I don't believe albums should be unreleased. I don't believe that. And I had a cat, one of my friends on Facebook tell me like, oh, the reason why some albums are unreleased is because there might not be, that album might not be good and stuff like that. But I feel like that's bullshit because there's artists that put out albums and some of this shit is not good. So I feel like there's no excuse. You know what I mean? So let the fans be the judge of what's good or what's not good. I understand it's your project, but I feel like certain stuff shouldn't be unreleased. I didn't know music should be unreleased. So much time I got left. Yeah, I still got some time. Which brings me to the whole Prince controversy. Jay-Z, it was a controversy where Jay-Z was trying to buy the whole catalog as far as like his unreleased stuff, which is a good gesture. I think it's like for $40 million, which is a good gesture. But coming from Jay-Z, I don't think it's a good idea because he's not a good businessman. Because anything he touches turns to shit. When he was the president of Def Jam, back in like '05, '06, around that time, when the Roots came out with their album, there was no promotion. When Method Man came out with his 421 album the day after, that didn't get any promotion. The Ghostface album, Fish Scale, that didn't come out when there was no. I think he was on the Def Jam at that time, but if he was, there was no promotion on that album. Yeah, several albums that came out in Def Jam, At that time, there was no there was no promotion for that, and that's the thing too. But getting back with the Prince thing, you guys know he has a whole vault of unreleased shit from dating from the '70s all the way up to now. And you know, Jay-Z wants to buy it, but like I said, he just knowing him, it'll just turn to shit, and I don't think he's the right person to do it. And I know some people might feel some type of way with what I'm saying, but that's just my opinion on that. But that's pretty much it of out of print albums and price gouging. And last but not least, Tribe Called Quest, the new album that's supposed to be dropping, I think next week. I'm all for it. This is supposed to be the last time they put out. Um, these are all new vocals that Fife had recorded before he died, so you're gonna get brand new, fresh vocals. Um, I don't know, man. I'm happy, but then at the same time, I'm kind of like I feel some type of way because um, I'm just kind of scared of the production that they're gonna have. You know what I mean? Um, if it's gonna be production like production from like how the Q-Tip albums are, then I'm not really for it, and I'm just scared of some of the features that they're gonna have. I seen one of them was Kendrick Lamar, which kind of made me cringeworthy. Um, because you guys know how I feel about Kendrick Lamar. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like I do want it to come out, but I just hope that it comes out and it comes out good. It exceeds my expectations. You know what I mean? So, but that's pretty much it of the hip hop rant. I apologize for the lack of videos. Just been busy with work. I'm just kind of going through some stuff right now. At work right now. It's coming to the point where my job is not really secure. That I might end up losing the job. I don't know. It might be closing down. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lack of funds and things like that. So, but yeah, I do have some CD collection videos. I am working on some reviews. Some new things are coming to this channel. Better video quality, but I'll talk about that with another in another video. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the lengthy video, but that's how I get down. Um, this is what you guys wanted, so stay tuned for more videos. All right, be easy. Peace.